Elon Musk is a wealthy businessman who, unlike many others who would prefer to buy yachts or private islands, has chosen to invest his money in science and technology. Known among many things for his great influence on the development of electric cars and for his dedication to colonize outer space, he has amassed a great fortune over the years, thanks to all the projects he has been developing. In fact, he is one of those few famous entrepreneurs for having interpreted himself in films such as Iron Man or television shows like The Big Bang Theory. And that is that the growth of his capital is not limited only to a few sales in the market, but to a series of ideas and visions in which he has worked and whose results have impressed the entire world. With only 12 years, Elon was already interested in programming, even developing a video game called Blaster that he sold to the South African magazine PC and Office Technology for $500. From then on, with more experience, he devoted himself to more important projects. In the 90s, he created Zip2, a kind of virtual directory that he developed hand-in-hand with his brother Elon Musk, and then sold Compaq for $300 million. Not bad to make your first company. Thus, with an increasing capital, he decides to invest in X.com, a virtual bank founded by a group of entrepreneurs including Elon himself. Later, X.com merged with Confinity originating PayPal that ended up being one of the largest companies worldwide and then sold to eBay. However, it was Tesla Motors and SpaceX who positioned him as one of the most successful entrepreneurs with an adventurous spirit. His profits from the sale of PayPal were approximately $180 million, an amount that allowed him to invest in other companies. Thus, while other companies focused on keeping the production of gasoline vehicles afloat, Elon set out to revolutionize transport by bringing the electric vehicle with Tesla that, although he had a run over, he managed to improve his numbers, being today the most valuable automotive company in the market, surpassing giants such as General Motors and Ford. And as if that were not enough, a large part of his resources in SpaceX invested a company dedicated to the company aerospace manufacturing. In fact, he managed to take a crew to the International Space Station, with one of his reusable rockets saving millions of dollars on later missions. A feat that represented great success in the space travel crossing led by Musk. Thus, the multifaceted South African entrepreneur has not stopped putting into practice his knowledge in physics, computer science, and finance, keeping his various companies afloat even if the projects do not produce with expected results. Because only that care has helped him increase his personal fortune, which could even allow the exploration of the planet Mars to be financed, as he has recently announced. Elon, for whom education is just a fun and real work isn't the desire to improve, it has a net worth around $150 billion. In fact, according to Forbes magazine, he ranks the second richest person in the world, being surpassed only by Jeff Bezos. With regard to his companies, he was co-founder of Neuralink, SpaceX SolarCity, The Boring Company, Hyperloop, OpenAI, and PayPal. Almost all of them focused on research and technological development. He currently remains as CEO of Tesla Motors and SpaceX. In addition, he occupies the position of executive president at SolarCity and co-chair of OpenAI. While in other companies such as Neuralink or Hyperloop that are still consolidating, it remains part of the executive corps. He is certainly a very busy man. Should not surprise us if we find him slipping in one of his factories, something said by himself. Now, with so many projects underway and such high capital, it is expected that Elon can afford a suitable life for a millionaire of his kind, and that is that one of the most frequent expenses over the years has been in the purchase of personal vehicles. His first vehicle was a BMW 3.201 of 1978 that he bought in 1994 for only $1,400 and that he arranged for himself. Later, while working for Zip2, the company he created with his brother, acquired a 1967 Jaguar Roadster E-Type, whose replica, with a value of $100,000, still owns. Currently, we could find several cars in Elon's garage, such as a 1997 McLaren F1 with a value of $800,000, a 2006 Hammond BMW M5 with a value of $80,000, an Audi 07 of 2010 of $48,000, a Porsche 911 Turbo of 2012 with a value of $160,000, and a Tesla Roadster, the first model of Tesla Motors, whose body is based on Lotus Elise, also found in Elon's garage. It also has some eccentric vehicles, such as the Ford Model T that used to be sold in 1920 for $850, a prototype of its sustainable and self-sufficient Cybertruck vehicle with a price of $39,000, and a replica of the Wet Neely vehicle used in the James Bond movie, capable of becoming a submarine with a current value of $920,000. An acquisition is not surprising if we take into account that for a person like Elon, it would be possible to explore the depths of the ocean from the comfort of his car. Although, of course, he is more interested in outer space. On the other hand, it may seem unusual for a tycoon in the electric vehicle industry to have such a large collection of gasoline vehicles. However, once he came to affirm that the car he drives most frequently is a Tesla Model S that has a market price of $85,000. Although CEO of the company probably obtained some discounts. Now it is expected that for such an extensive collection of vehicles, it has enough space to be able to park them all. Fortunately, the businessman came to have a real estate portfolio with an estimated value of around $100 million. Value that has changed because the South African has decided to detach from his material goods, having sold even 4 of his houses at the beginning of the year 2021. One of the most iconic was his first mansion acquired at the end of 2012 with a value of $17 million. It was located on 10911 Shallon Road Street in Bel Air, Los Angeles. Its structure followed the colonial style. It had 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, 2 libraries, a theater, 2 guest rooms, a tennis court, wine cellar, swimming pool, gym, and a garage with enough space for 5 cars. All this furnished with the eccentric furniture that only a few could afford like this. Being also a father of a family, had to find a Bel Air neighborhood quietly enough to settle, because time later he bought 2 houses on the same street. One of them cost him $6.75 million, and it used to establish a private school for his children, while the other rancher style had a value of $20 million. Elon also bought 2 mansions, one of $24.25 million with about 860 square meters that he would use as a holiday home when he was near the beach, and another one with about 1,480 square meters of 100 years old with a value of $23.4 million located in the luxurious area of San Francisco. All this formed his real estate portfolio until he decided to part with them. However, the magnitude of his heritage has not been altered, thanks to his constant work in the world of technology, because that has been treated for Elon's work. It is said that he works around 100 hours a week and that he does not allow himself to have much free time to travel or take a walk. For many, that might sound excessive, but certainly the businessman and owner of Tesla has an insatiable desire to get completely involved in his projects. In fact, in an interview, he came to admit that he had only taken 2 weeks of vacation since the founding of SpaceX 12 years ago. One would expect a person with so much money to take enough time to rest and relax on the beach or take a walk in the mountains. However, if we want to find it taking a break, we will probably have to look for it on their planes. The CEO of SpaceX and Tesla has 2 private planes that are usually used constantly to be transported from one place to another. The most used of them, of $70 million, is a G650ER of 2015, with which it could travel around 240,000 kilometers in just 1 year. That is more than half of the road between Earth and the Moon. And as if it were not enough, it also has a military aircraft, Aero L-39 Albatross of $250 million, an acquisition not peculiar for a person who bought 3 mansions in the same street. On the other hand, Elon performs another activity frequently when he is not busy in some of his factories, trying not to exploit his test rockets. He is making donations, many of them through his Musk Foundation, to which he has already donated more than $250 million. It is believed that he would follow those of big businessmen like Bill Gates or Warren Buffett, promising much of his fortune to charity, and reinforced that idea yet more when he decided to part with most of his material goods at the beginning of 2021. Certainly, we are faced with a character who still has a lot to give the world. Although he has amassed an immense fortune with the development of his companies, he has shown to give greater priority to work, unlike other celebrities. It would be unusual to find Elon Musk at a party or on a yacht. In fact, he did buy a yacht, but Mr. Steven called it and was part of a project related to SpaceX. Who knows, perhaps in a few years his desire to colonize Mars will come true, and he intends to build his new mansion on the Red Planet with enough space for his cars. Now tell us, if you had Elon's assets, you would spend your time resting on your private island, or you would continue working on your projects tirelessly. Leave us your answer in the comments. If you liked this video and you found the content interesting, like and subscribe for more The Millionaire Live content. See you in the next. Goodbye.